Hi, I'm Randy Jeffers, and I heard a great story of a young man and a young lady who fell in love, and they just loved each other so much. But the problem was that the guy came from a really poor family, and the girl, she came from a family from high society, and of course her parents weren't too happy when they found out about all this. So the young man, he decided that not only was he going to court his girlfriend, but he was also going to court her parents as well. So, as he was doing this, in time, of course, the parents, saw that he was really a good guy, and then they fell in love with him and decided that he really was worthy of their daughter's hand. But there was another problem because the man was a soldier, and soon after they started dating, he found out that he was going to be sent overseas for a year. But the week before he left, he got down on his knees and he asked his girlfriend, "Will you marry me?" Well, she cried and wiped away a tear and said, "Yes, absolutely, of course." And they were engaged. And they agreed that when he got back in 1 year, that they'd get married. Well, he went off to war, but tragedy struck, not to him, but to her. And a few days after he left, the girl had a major car accident, a head-on collision. And when she woke up in the hospital, she saw her father and mother there crying, and she knew that something seriously was wrong. And she later found out that she suffered a brain injury. And it was the part of her brain that controlled her face muscles. And her face was all damaged up, and her once beautiful face was now disfigured. And she cried just as soon as she saw herself in the mirror. She said, "Yesterday I was beautiful. Today, I'm just like this monster." Her body was also covered with many ugly wounds from the car accident. And right there and then, she decided that she was going to release her fiancé from their promise. She knew that he wouldn't want her anymore, not the way she looked, and she just was bound and determined that she was going to forget about him and never see him again. And for 1 year, the soldier wrote all these letters, but she wouldn't answer him. Phoned her as many times as he could, but she would not return his calls. But after 1 year, the mother walked into her room and announced, "He's back from the war." And the girl shouted, "No, please don't tell him about me. Please, tell him I'm not here." But the mother said, "He's getting married," and handed her a wedding invitation. Well, the girl's heart sank. She knew she still loved him, but she had to forget about him for now. And with great sadness, she opened up the wedding invitation, and then she saw her name on it. Confused, she said, "What is this?" That was when the young man entered into the room, had a bouquet of flowers in his hands, and he knelt down beside her, and he asked once again, "Will you marry me?" Well, the girl covered her face with her hands and said, "I'm so ugly." The man said, "Without your permission, your mother sent me your photos. And when I saw your photos, I realized that nothing has changed. You're still the person, the most beautiful person I know. You're the person I fell in love with. And you're just as beautiful as ever because I love you. Here's to your absolutely incredible success."